It was a huge month income-wise for us in December, and we also moved into our new house. Today, I'm showing you our actual household budget for December and showing you how we actually spent and saved every dollar. Hey, I'm Marissa, and if you're new here, I talk about how you can enjoy life and accomplish financial goals through the use of a budget. And today, I'm going to show you my household budget in my budget spreadsheet. We are a family of 4. It's myself, my husband, Jacob, and we have 2 sons, Peter, who is 3.5, and Jack, who is 1.5. And we just moved from Portland, Oregon to Phoenix, Arizona. We bought a house here at the end of November. I ended up flying down with the boys early December as my husband got settled in for the first week here. So let's take a look at this budget for the month of December. So this is the budget spreadsheet that I use every month, and you can get it on my shop. I will have a link to it down below. It's an instant download, works in Excel, Google Sheets. You can check it out there. And I've been using this template for years. So the first thing that we have here is Jacob's income, and then we have my income. So Jacob is a W-2 employee, works for an employer, and he is paid every other week, which means that 2 months of the year, he gets paid 3 times. And December was one of those months. So he had a 3 paycheck month. The other awesome thing is that we are now Arizona residents, and so we are paying substantially less money in income tax as we were in Oregon, which feels great. It's added a lot of money into our budget, which is lovely. And one of the reasons why we wanted to get out of Oregon. I am self-employed. I do my business here on YouTube and social media. So I take a monthly draw from my business. And so I just pay myself a steady salary out of that. And I keep all of that blacked out just for privacy. But our total household income this month, we brought home $11,436.91. Again, it was nice having a 3 paycheck month and now being Arizona residents and paying less in state taxes. We are saving money on state income taxes as well as property taxes being here. Arizona does have sales tax. We did not pay sales tax in Oregon. So that is one thing that we're getting used to, but I would much rather pay tax on the money that I'm spending versus the money that I'm earning. Okay, so now to look at all of our expenses here. The first thing that we have is our tithe, our giving, and then we have African New Life. We support 2 children in Rwanda through African New Life, so we have that there. Just have that blocked out for privacy as well. Mortgage, this was a mortgage-free month because it was like prepaid in escrow. We closed at the very end of November, so we had some prepayments for our mortgage then. Our first mortgage payment was taken out in January. HOA, we do live in a neighborhood with a homeowners association, but one of the benefits with our house, we did a new build. And one of the benefits that they had with doing the new build is if we went through their financing, they gave us 4% of our house value back in financing incentives, which we were able to use to completely cover our closing costs. We bought down our rate, and then they also prepaid for the HOA for the first year. So we're not going to have an HOA fee for the first year, and after that then we will owe for the HOA. But it's like a little over $100, and I feel like that's worth it. Next we have is natural gas. We did not have to pay anything for these bills for natural gas, electric, and trash. Those will be coming in January. And let me know what this is like where you live, because when I signed up for all of the utilities here, like all of them had a deposit and also like a setup fee that were like really high actually. So in January, our utility bills will be higher because of all of these additional fees, which is kind of annoying. But that being said, we have water at $35.11 for the month of December, and that was just like November's usage and a little like setup fee with that too, which was minimal because we closed at the very end of November. Okay, next we have is internet. I thought it was gonna be $70. It's actually $50 a month, which is great. Then we have phones at $100 for mine and Jacob's cell phone. Our car insurance, I budgeted for $200, but it was $76.96. We have our car insurance through USAA, and every year they do like a member kickback kind of thing. So that brought our cost down for December. So it's at $76.96. I've heard that a lot of people have their rates going up. I'm very interested to see what'll happen for us because we actually do have 2 insurance claims that we had to do within 2 months of each other. Neither of them were our fault, but we had to go through our insurance because one was a hit and run and the other one, it's not like complete yet, so I don't want to share all the details, but we had to go through our insurance initially and hopefully that'll be refunded. So I don't know. Let me know if you're an insurance person, but I'm hoping that that won't affect us because it wasn't our fault. But again, we had to open up 2 claims, and we've never ever had to open up an insurance claim before, and they were both within 2 months of each other. So that's fun. Next we have is life insurance. We have $52.89 for that. We have life insurance policies on myself and my husband Jacob, so that is $52.89 each month. Groceries. This was bad. It was very bad. We budgeted $500. We spent $1,200. The reasons for this being, we moved into a new house, so we had to go get all of the essentials. We had some big Costco trips and things to restock, you know, even like little things like baking supplies and spices, like all of those things we had used up earlier. So yeah, $1,200. And then also we had family stay with us for basically half the month of December. My parents were here to help us like move in. They flew down with me and my boys when we got moved in early December. And then we had them come back down for Christmas, as well as my sister and her husband. So we spent a little bit more on groceries with all of that. I cannot believe we spent that much though. That's insane. Okay. Next we have is eating out, which was also high because of the circumstances. We budgeted $150 and we spent $317.36. We have never spent this much money on everything food related. And this month in January, we're like reeling that back in and wanting to be very intentional with the money that we're spending on food related costs. Next we have is gas. We budgeted $200 and we only spent $77.11. So we obviously did not spend that much on gas or go many places, but also gas is a lot cheaper here. Next we have is fun. We budgeted $50 and we spent $48. That's perfect. Miscellaneous. I budgeted $100. We spent $275.30. So that's also kind of a bit of money. Roth IRA, we did not put anything to. I wasn't planning on it this month, but for the month of January, hoping that we can start that back up. College, we put $200 into our kids' 529 college savings plans, $100 into each one. The reason why I have this in our expense and not like a savings is because this is not money that I'm tracking in my own savings accounts. This is money that gets taken out of my bank account. So that is up there in the expense section of my budget. So as a total, we spent $3,455.14 on expense related items. Now to show you the savings section. Okay, so here are the things that we're saving for. We have our emergency fund and our move fund. You will see that they are in a different color because I have them set aside in a different bank account. I've been using CIT Bank for their high yield savings account because they have some of the highest rates around. I changed to them about 6 months ago because we had sold our house in Oregon and we were holding on to the proceeds of that house for a few months before we moved. And I wanted to get the best value out of that. So I stuck it in CIT's high yield savings account and I'm keeping my emergency fund and everything there as well. So right now their platinum savings account earns you 5.05%, which is so high. This is a great place to keep your emergency fund or any short-term savings goals that you're working on. So for us, that's our emergency fund and our move fund, covering all of the expenses related to our move and home furnishings in our backyard project and all of that kind of good stuff. So with that money in our CIT account this last month, we earned $214.65 in interest with our money just sitting there. I will leave a link to CIT Bank down below. It's my affiliate link, so thank you if you use it. I get a little kickback, but also I genuinely use this bank and enjoy it. And like I said, I had my house sale proceeds there, and then I was able to wire transfer over the money straight to the lender, and there was no fees. There's also no fees with opening the account. It's completely free. There's no monthly fees. No fees at all. I did a review video of CIT Bank and I'll leave a link to that up above and you can check that out here and learn more if you want, but I would just highly recommend checking it out. A high yield savings account is going to earn you some interest on money that's going to be sitting there anyway, so just sign up for it, earn free money. Especially right now because rates are so high. Once the Fed begins lowering rates, high yield savings account rates will also go down, but they're still going to be the best thing out there because they earn over 10 times the national savings account rate. So your regular bank account is earning you like pennies, where a high yield savings account is going to earn you like substantially more. So if you have an emergency fund, go put it in the high yield savings account Again, CIT Bank's been great. You can check them out down below. The next thing that we have here is our moving fund, and this is completely done now. I will remove this for December and it'll be gone for January. So our emergency fund, we do have at $30,000, and I have this as a 6-month emergency fund for us. And then our move fund is now at $20,629. So we did set aside some money here to finish our backyard, because when we bought this new house, it was just a dirt patch. I'm still looking out at it. It's still a dirt patch, but we are in the process of it being finished. So we are going to put turf out here. I'm so excited for the boys to be able to just like have a yard to run around in. We had the tiniest little yard in Oregon. It wasn't actually a backyard, it was a side yard, because our house was like an alley backed garage. And so our side yard was 10 feet from our house to our neighbor's house. That was all the yard we had. So I'm so excited to have a yard for the kids. So we wanted to set aside money for that. So we did that with the proceeds of our house. We didn't put everything down on our new house because we set aside some money to do like this project. So we have $20,000 set aside for that. And I think that our entire project should cost 17 to 18. So we should still have some money after that, and we'll figure out what to do with that once that time comes. But we should be done with that in January, so stay tuned. Okay, the next thing that we have is the moving line item, the moving fund, and I'm going to be taking this out of the budget going forward because that's complete. So this was all of the things like the pods, our flights down to Arizona, like all of the expense to actually like get us moved, the movers, like all of that. Next we have is taxes. I pay quarterly taxes. I did just pay that in January, so that'll come out here, but I did have money set aside here for those taxes. Next we have is property taxes. We are setting aside $300 each month for our property taxes. Our mortgage payment that we pay is just principal and interest, and so then we will be responsible for taxes and insurance. So $300 for taxes and then $65 for the insurance. Jacob gets $200 of personal spending money each month. I get $75, and I spent $36 this month. The only reason why he gets more is that he's more of a spender. I would rather save more of that money, so that's why we just have those different amounts. Next we have is extra giving. We put $50 a month into our extra giving fund to be able to say yes to additional giving opportunities if they come up. Then we have gifts at $50 and clothing at $50 as well. Vacation, we are planning to go to Disneyland this year. I'm super excited about that. So we are setting aside $400 each month to save for that trip and any other travel vacation kind of thing we want to do. Next we have is Christmas. We spent all of that money in December. We were able to use our credit card rewards to be able to fund Christmas basically fully. So we have a credit card with USAA that earns us 1.5% cash back. I just save that up all year long and then use that for Christmas spending. I needed an extra $9.88 to be able to cover everything else that we spent. So we added that in. Next we have is medical. I was actually negative in our medical account because there were some bills that I paid in November that covered prior medical things. So $1336.33 is what I added to that to zero that out. Next we have is dues and subs. We put $50 a month into that. We spent $242. We had to get like our new licenses and things like that. So we had some little expenses there, and our Costco membership renewed as well. Next we have is car maintenance. We had to put $1,000 into that because like I said, we had those like insurance situations. So we have a brand new Kia Carnival. We have a 2024 Kia Carnival that we bought in October, and in November we were taking our son to the hospital because he was having trouble breathing, and on the way to the hospital we were rear-ended on the freeway. So we got our car fixed. We had to pay our deductible to do that, and hopefully we can get that money back. But if not, we had to pay our deductible. So we had to pay $500 for that. And then we also got all of our windows tinted in our cars because we were in Arizona, and I've already like noticed a difference, even though it's like still winter, just there's not as much sun glare. And I know that that's also going to save on like our car not being so hot when it's 115 degrees in the summer. So we spent $12.59 on that this month. So $1,000 is what we added into it. Next we have is house maintenance. We budgeted 200. Ended up putting 500 into that because we spent $764.94 on house maintenance kinds of things. I guess that could kind of go along with the move expenses, but whatever. We had to get like paint. We like painted our walls and did some other like house project related things as we are getting moved in. Next we have is household. We budgeted 100 and we actually ended up putting 300 into that, and we spent 200 because again, new house, and we had to get new things or replenish new things, toilet paper, paper towels, soap, all of that kind of good stuff. And then kids, we budgeted 250 and we spent 262 out of their fund. I love using sinking funds for all of these things because some months we may spend a lot and some months we may spend a little bit. So I like this kind of like evens it out a little more. So as a grand total, our total savings was $7,981, and our total out, which is our expenses and our savings because we don't have any other debt, is $11,436. Our difference, which should be zero, is zero, which means that we have budgeted our complete budget. Let me show you our net worth section really fast. Your net worth is made up of your assets minus your liabilities, or the things you own minus the things that you owe. So the first thing of our assets is our retirement. Investments did really well at the end of the year. So we are up past $152,000 in our retirement investments. Next we have is our house value at about $580. And then our emergency fund, the total of all of our sinking funds. We have our HSA that we have invested as well. Robinhood, I just need to remove this. It's $150. I don't really need to set that out there. And then our Highlander is valued at $27,272, and our Kia Carnival is at $46,545. And so our total assets is almost at $871,000, but we do have a mortgage balance, and that is a little over $400,000. So our total net worth is $470,400. And I'm pretty pleased with that. I think we're on track. We grew our net worth at least this month. And this is always just fun to track your net worth and see the progress that you're making over the year. So that is a look at our December 2023 budget and how we finish off the year. Don't forget to check out CIT Bank. Earn yourself some free money with interest by opening a free account with CIT Bank. And also, if you want to get this budget template, I will have that linked down below as well. And with that, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.